A new trial for former President Trump in place.
We have a racist attorney general who's a horror show.
Quickly turning the courtroom to a presidential campaign. Kids in a neighborhood saved the day.
I felt really bad, so I wanted to help, and I told my mom about the idea.
A fundraiser that a family will remember forever. And empowering a community and their allies.
You can never erase the LGBTQ community.
These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Leon Abatar-Bush.
And I'm Julian Davis. Today's Tuesday, October 3rd, 2023.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
DC developments this morning with 4 big stories, all involving big-name politicians. The president's son is due in court, and that's only where it begins.
Caplin DC Bureau reporter Hawa Izel is in Washington this morning.
We begin with the president's son. Hunter Biden is scheduled to appear in court today on gun charges. He's accused of lying on federal forms and illegally possessing a gun while using illicit drugs. It's the first time the child of a sitting president will appear in court to fight criminal charges. It comes at the same time as an impeachment inquiry into President Biden for allegedly profiting off his son's foreign business deals.
Pursuant to Clause 2A1.
Now to Capitol Hill, where Florida's Matt Gaetz made a motion to remove House Speaker Kevin McCarthy.
Next week, one of 2 things will happen. Kevin McCarthy won't be the Speaker of the House, or he'll be the Speaker of the House working at the pleasure of the Democrats.
Congressman Gaetz is mad at Speaker McCarthy because he worked with Democrats to avoid a government shutdown.
Keep government open?
Not backing down from the challenge. 3 words from the Speaker on the social media network X: bring it on. Trump's presidential campaign has survived a Supreme Court challenge. Justices announced yesterday that they will not take up a case that argues the former president aided an insurrection on January 6th and should therefore not be able to run for office under the 14th Amendment. The High Court is shutting down that argument without comment or a recorded vote.
Why do you want to be here in person today? Because I want to watch this witch hunt myself.
Speaking of President Trump, today is day 2 of his civil trial in New York City. He was not required to appear yesterday, but chose to. He's accused of exaggerating the value of his real estate properties to qualify for better loans.
No matter how powerful you are, no matter how much money you think you may have, no one is above the law.
In Washington, D.C. for Caplin News, I'm Hawa Izel.
Bizarre crimes caught on camera in Miami Springs.
Caplin's Samantha Gutierrez is live outside the TGK Correctional Facility with details.
Yeah, we're actually covering 2 stories out of the Miami Springs area. One suspect is actually here in the Turner Guilford Correction Center and is expected to be released later today. First, though, I want to talk about a man who was caught on camera swinging a machete at a motorcyclist. It was 61-year-old. Charges of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon and $10,000 bond. This dash cam footage shows Herrera charging at a motorcyclist in the area of Northwest 42nd Avenue near Northwest 36th Street. The incident happened Friday. Here at TGK Correction Center, Elizar Révalo is being released later today. He was arrested over coffee and was given a $5,000 bond. He's a 64-year-old who was charged with felony battery after smacking the coffee out of a McDonald's worker's hands in a drive-thru over a dispute over his charge. The incident happened August 25th, and he was taken into custody Monday by the Springs police. We're not sure when he's going to be released, but when he is, he's going to step out here, and then we'll know what he has to say.
Caplin Samantha Gutierrez. Okay. Kids from one Orlando neighborhood help raise money selling lemonade for a new cause. For a perfect cause. Stevie the Golden Retriever was injured mid-September when she was involved in a traffic accident outside her owner's house. She had a punctured lung and fractured ribs, leaving her owner with an expensive surgery bill. But a few kids from the neighborhood had a plan.
I felt really bad, so I wanted to help. And I told my mom about the idea, and she thought it was a good idea.
But mostly, like, some people just stopped and gave money just to help the cause of it was Stevie.
Jules and Riley raised $403 for Stevie, who is now recovering with her owner Marisol. Much needed medicine and help from her new friends in the neighborhood.
Creating safe spaces in the Sunshine State, with Governor Ron DeSantis signing a law that bans any transgender treatment for minors in May. The trans community came together at TransCon. Caplin News reporter William Ayer has more on this story.
We joined many others here at the Scott Galvin Community Center in experiencing what is TransCon. This is the state of Florida's only conference by and for transgender and non-binary people scheduled for 2023.
After 3 years, TransCon is back, aiming to provide a safe space for the trans and non-binary community in South Florida. Hosted by the Aqua Foundation for Women, the convention aims to provide many resources to the community. Numerous booths were also active throughout the day, where attendees could find information on resources in the local area. One of the speakers at the event was Dr. Natasha Poulopoulos, a licensed psychologist and principal consultant at Dr. Tash, which is an advocate for gender and sexual diversity, aiming to establish a safe and inclusive community for LGBTQ+ patients, families, and colleagues.
My hope is that legislation starts leading on the experts, so the American Medical Association, the American Psychological Association, who've created guidelines that say that affirming inclusive spaces increase belongingness and reduce mental health disparities among LGBTQ+.
FIU's Pride Student Union also took part in hosting a gender-affirming material drive, where attendees had the ability to pick out free clothes and gender-affirming garments. To provide these resources, however, has gradually become difficult, as earlier this year, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has gone through signing various anti-LGBTQ+ bills, mainly targeting trans Floridians, such as limiting their access to health care and creating an unsafe environment for them to live in.
A law can't break up community. A law can stop care. A law can ban the care. Laws can ban the funding. You can maybe get the names, but you can never erase the LGBTQ community. And right now in these times, you saw in the last few years, the Florida community has gotten so strong. The events like this are life-saving.
Although concerning, these actions do not stop many supporters from finding ways to combat these laws and find ways around them, to keep helping those in need of support and care.
While Florida legislatures keep passing anti-LGBTQ+ legislation, the Aqua Foundation continues to provide support for the community alongside many local community partners.
That was William Ayer reporting. TransCon was back on September 9th, but October marks the start of LGBTQ History Month.
This week, Sam Bankman-Fried is set to stand trial for one of the biggest frauds in U.S. history. Bankman has pled not guilty to 7 counts of fraud and conspiracy. Prosecutors allege Bankman stole billions of dollars in customer funds for personal use, along with alleging he used the money to cover a crypto hedge fund. If convicted, he could spend the rest of his life in prison.
Do not panic on Wednesday when your phone lets out a loud screech. The federal government is set to do a nationwide test of the emergency alert system at 2:20 p.m. You should receive a text mentioning that it is only a test. Warnings like Amber Alerts originally come from the state you live in. This will mark the second time the federal government has sent alerts to mobile phones.
Miami Heat star Jimmy Butler plays dress up on Media Day.
That's still ahead, and so is his story.
There are alternatives that we can use in almost all cases, and so it's not like we're going into this with absolutely no options.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantori here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's what white people think. You all right?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere. Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
CWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
It's that time of the year again. Respiratory virus cases typically start to rise in October, spiking between December and February.
And this season, the U.S. is facing another shortfall in a common antibiotic to help treat bacterial infections that may happen when a child is sick.
There are alternatives that we can use in almost all cases, and so it's not like we're going into this with absolutely no options.
Amoxicillin powder remains on the U.S. Food and Drug Administration's shortage list.
Jimmy Butler decided to go with a new look for Media Day, and let's just say it is only a phase. The 34-year-old Miami Heat small forward debuted an emo look for the media. The look consisted of piercings, painted black fingernails, and the iconic long front hair bangs. On X, the Miami Heat's account posted a video of teammates laughing and joking regarding Butler's new look.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Every day,
Millions of people are connecting
and even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an effort
to get to know each other,
on a deeper level.
Father,
cosplayer,
Mentor.
actor.
it's time we take a step forward
It's time we take a step forward
Come together
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
That is all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Julian Davis.
I'm Len Abu Tarbush. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu. No? Okay. When do I start? No? Can someone cue me?
She's gonna cue. Roby's gonna